Hello, Flames Nation, and welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Trevor. I am very honored today to welcome our guest. You guys know him, we love him. It's Mr. Alan York. Alan is also the voice of the Flames, so we are very honored and grateful that he has taken time out of his schedule to chat with us today. Alan, welcome.
Trevor, it's my pleasure. I'm tickled to see these videos come out every Tuesday to promote your volleyball program. And I was sitting at my desk literally last week wondering, when am I going to, no, I'm not joking. But tickled, honored to be on with you here today.
Awesome. Yeah, just for those that don't know you personally, when did you come to Liberty and what is your role?
Cliff Notes version, I am the football, basketball, radio broadcaster for the Flames. Also help with whatever Ian McCall needs me to do, and Tim East, who's my supervisor. From a digital media standpoint, I'm involved with our social media efforts, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, website, you name it, that falls under my plate. And a lot of people to mention in that: Emily Wido, Isaac Apon, Jesse Rogers, just to name a few, Cullen and Howie, the football, and David Hurley, and if I keep naming people, I'll forget somebody. So, but main responsibility is the radio broadcast for football, men's basketball, help out a little bit with softball and baseball where needed from a broadcast standpoint. So the plate full year-round, but it's a great place to do it, serving the Lord and working with fine folks like yourself. And I've been here 10 years and grew up in Mount Airy, North Carolina, which for those that are tuning in is Andy Griffith's hometown.
Okay.
So the inspiration for the show is Mount Airy, just below the state line of Virginia. It's about 3 hours from here, and a great tourist spot. If you take a weekend to go down to Mount Airy, you'll see a lot of fun stuff down there. So, right now, doing great things at Liberty and having fun talking to you.
Yeah, no, you do so much for athletics, and people just don't know exactly what you do. So there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that gets taken care of, and we really appreciate all that you do for us.
Thank you.
Growing up in college, you played baseball.
And football.
Baseball and football. Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, growing up in Mount Airy, my high school had about 400 students, freshmen through. My senior class had 103 folks in it, so very small town.
Very small.
Great athletes have come and gone through there. God blessed me with other talents besides like being a D1 athlete, but I played Division III football and baseball for 4 years, both at Guilford College in Greensboro, North Carolina, and enjoyed it. I can say there's not many people that caught a touchdown and hit a home run in their career, both, and I was able to do a little bit of both, so it's kind of cool.
Awesome.
But you know, playing at D3 level, you literally play for the game because you're not on scholarship, and enjoyed it, my time there. Started behind a microphone doing public address announcing for our basketball team, and that's where I got used to being in front of a microphone. And from there, being in Greensboro, Winston-Salem is 30 minutes away from there. The headquarters, which is now Learfield IMG College, it's a college sports marketing company. 30 years ago, it was called ISP when I started working there out of college and did some minor league baseball as well. So I'm going in a rabbit hole here about kind of how I got to Liberty, but the love right there for playing football and baseball is still important to me. And I think living vicariously through these student athletes, regardless of what sport we do, I can still pretend I'm playing by describing play-by-play, even though physically I'm obviously not doing it.
Yeah. What was the driving force? Like, why did you want to get into broadcasting?
I think those of us that are in it, we all have memories of, hey, I was sitting there at night with my transistor radio listening to whomever, put me to sleep. And I do have some influences doing that. And growing up, I grew up a Wake Forest fan. And their broadcaster now, Stan Cotton, who just yesterday was announced as the North Carolina State Broadcaster of the Year. Before him, Gene Overby did it, and Mac McDonald, and so listening to them on the radio just got me excited to do it. And For those of us that work in sports, I think the common denominator, Trevor, is I always wanted to do something in sports. Some are marketing, some are PR, some are coaches. A lot of the best athletes are obviously playing at a professional level. But for broadcasters, I think, like I said earlier, the best way to do it and still feel like you're contributing something to the game, even though from a point standpoint, I'm not.
Right.
But we also have this product from a medium standpoint, whether it be Matt and Naz doing TV or Joe Yock for football and basketball. Radio is still, I think, a valuable medium to sell for our Van Wagner. There's a plug for Van Wagner, our sales folks on campus.
Right.
But the fans, I think, still utilize the audio medium, even though traditionally they don't have radios anymore. We have our smartphones and computers. And so from that standpoint, we still provide a valuable product. And I don't know what it is. Those that do know me, I'm the quietest cat on this campus, honestly. I'll speak to you, have spoken to, but I just let people do what they do. And I think people that watch this video that do know me, hopefully they're nodding their head, you know what, he's right.
Yeah.
But when I put that headset on, it's like Superman going into a booth. I completely transform.
Yeah.
I talk.
Yep.
And my wife actually wants me to talk more when I'm home, but I'm just an introvert by nature.
Right.
But I don't know what it is about those headsets that
Yeah.
brings out the best in me for what I do. So,
And you do a phenomenal job with that, where sometimes I'm recruiting or sometimes we're on the road as a family and
Yeah.
we'll listen to the football game and I feel like I'm actually on the field, like with you. And you do a great job describing the exact play
Thank
and what's happening, what's coming, and so I can see it, I can envision it in my head. I'm like, oh,
that's
yeah.
the ultimate goal for what we do from an audio standpoint, is to be able to put you where we are watching it. And 2021 with COVID, sometimes we're not there, and we still have to be able to paint as good a picture as we can. So, but thank you,
Yeah,
Brett.
no, you do a phenomenal job.
Right.
How did you come into the Lord?
That's a great question. I grew up a Methodist. Okay, I think Methodist and Baptist, if you will, I think fundamentally, at least to me, we believe in the same thing. We believe in life after death and going to see Jesus when we do die. But I think, and there's not a wrong way to describe this, in my opinion, so I don't want to disparage any thing of what I say. I think Baptists verbalize it a little bit more. I don't want to say better, but more than maybe what Methodists do. And so growing up, I knew where I was going to go when I die. But verbalizing that, I don't think the Methodists, they don't do it at the extent Baptists do. And so, but coming here, it was part of the culture. It was, I don't think you can come here, again, student athletes can come here and not know the Lord, but hopefully through their 4, 5, 6 years going here, they get to commit themselves to Jesus.
Right.
And I hadn't verbalized that. And coming here, it is, you learn about it, you learn about what it means to be a Christian. I remember on my interview here, talking to the 15, 16 people I interviewed. It was a very thorough interview. And there was different tips along the way from certain people of, okay, we know you're a Christian, you're just not talking how we talk about it. And it wasn't to disparage me, they were just educating me on what it was like to actually live as a Christian, despite knowing how I do live and being a man of integrity. And I remember talking to somebody on the interview here, and they're like, when you die, where are you gonna go? I'm like, well, I'm gonna go to heaven. They're like, well, how do you know that? Well, to divulge, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I do. They're like, whoa. No, that's not why you're gonna, because you don't do this.
Yeah.
It's because of these other things you need to start analyzing. I'm like, okay. And anyway, so 2012, I remember to this day, 2012, we were going through being members at TRBC and going through the process of becoming members at the church. And I think different people, and I'm going a long-winded answer here, Trevor, but I think it's a different time frame to commit yourself. Some do it earlier. My wife was in high school when it happened to her. Me, I was in my 30s when you officially announce Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And you verbalize it to somebody that is a Christian. And life-changing experience. And for me, it was, I want to say it was either Father's Day or Mother's Day. It was on a Sunday in 2012 when that happened to me. And it was with Brandon Pickett, who is a friend of Liberty University, does a lot of multimedia stuff in the area. He was our kind of friend, if you will, to help usher us into the church. And I verbalized it to him on that particular day in 2012. And that's when I officially committed myself to Jesus Christ. And it's, again, growing up, doing the right things. I knew where I was going to go, but actually verbalizing it, I think, is a way to really solidify and stamp yourself as a Christian. Yeah. And again, I don't want to disparage folks that watch this that might have a different idea, but the timeline getting there, I think, is different for everybody. And that's kind of how I got to know the Lord.
Awesome.
Yep.
Alan, thank you again for joining me. I appreciate it. And to all our fans out there, thanks for watching. Until next time, go Flames.
Go Flames.